right. Hello, everyone. Satnam. Thank you so much for tuning in today. So, welcome to Ask a Yogi. This is a show where we answer your questions about yoga, meditation, and the Kundalini. In today's episode, we're going to talk all about the influence of numerology on your own life. And be sure to stick around until the end, where Salimah will be guiding us through the beginning of our YogaVision Meditation Challenge, which is designed to help you build your spiritual practice. I'm your host, Nori Ordono. I am a Kundalini yoga teacher here at YogaVision, and I'm here to introduce Salimah, yoga therapist, master teacher trainer. Hi, Salimah. Satnam. How are you today?
Satnam Nori, thank you. I'm actually up north. I took advantage of some weekend time and came up north. And as fate would have it, there was a big thunderstorm this morning, which wipes out the Wi-Fi up north in Ontario. Who knew? But now we know. And so thank you for your patience while we figured out how to get some Wi-Fi. So here I am.
Welcome.
Yogi powers.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the power of nature, eh? You can plan ahead, but then nope.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And thank you to everybody who's watching in on the live stream. It's great to be with you. It's an opportunity for us to connect. I have had many personal conversations with you over the past couple of weeks, and here's an opportunity for us to gather together. So I'm really grateful for that. Thank you for your patience. And without further ado, let's swing into motion.
Yes, thank you, Scott, Vanessa, Luella, and Eliza. Eliza.
Right.
Eliza, welcome from Germany.
All right. From Germany. All right. Hi, Germany. Scott, we know from the studio. Vanessa, we know, is in our teacher training program. Lou, hi. How are you? I hope your sessions are going well. Nice to have you on the line.
Mm-hmm. And LG from Upper Michigan. That's pretty close to where we are. So welcome, everybody. Yeah. So today we're talking about numerology, and this is something that I'm familiar with because of you, Salimah. You've introduced this to us during our yoga teacher training. So why did numerology become a part of your practice?
Yeah, really good question. I think what we're all starting to figure out about Kundalini yoga is that it's a form of therapy. It is yoga practice, obviously, and it has the functionality of a therapy. So when you think about that technology in that way, there's the master techniques, there's the tools, but the key is, what do you do with those tools? How do you apply them? When do you apply them? And that's where numerology comes in very handy. So if Kundalini yoga is like the medicine, the vitamins, the prescription then becomes your numerology. And that's a very powerful tool, because once you know where you are placed in life, what choices you made when you chose this day of birth, then everything becomes more clear. And that's where numerology shapes Kundalini yoga. So they come hand in hand. The practice of Kundalini yoga is becoming more and more apparent and obvious, thanks to many teachers who are putting the teachings out. And numerology is part of the framework that allows a therapist like myself to offer the teachings in a very personalized kind of way. So it's one thing to take a general class. It's another thing to know that your specific, the way that you show up specifically, needs a little tweaking and adjusting so that you can level up, that you can expand, you can explore, and do that in a safe and contained way for you.
So you said that it's personalized. I remember that you used our date of birth. So how do you use our date of birth, and what does that tell you? What are the 5 questions that it answers?
Right. Okay. Good student. Numerology answers the 5 questions of life. Who am I? What am I here to master? What are my gifts and talents? What's the minimum I must do before I leave this planet? And how do I change my life? How do I transform my life? So these 5 questions, this is what we all show up for. This is why we as souls took a human form, so that we could have these answers at the end of our journey, no matter how long that journey is, whether it's 20 years, 40 years, 100 years, we are here to take those dimensions a little bit more further. So those are the 5 questions. And the day that you chose as a soul to show up in this world, So mine is July 3rd, 1971. The day I showed up, that's the date I chose to build qualities and characteristics. So, for example, the number 3 in that particular spot represents who I am. The month of birth represents what I'm here to master. And then we break down all of the other numbers. And so it's the numbers that represent meaning, significance, personality, perspective, and atmosphere and aura around you. It's not one particular number, it's all of those numbers coming together. And they're telling a story, they're telling your story. And either we come in and live our story to the full extent, or we play small and we take those natural gifts and talents, turn away, shy away a little bit, and instead reach into our smallness, reach into places of self-negation or people pleasing or. And that has to stop, actually. That's the stopping place. That's where the breakthroughs happen. Because once we identify it, oh yeah, I'm playing small in this area, and actually I need to level up into this area, it becomes very vivid. And then the practice makes more sense. The practice is, okay, how do I get past this? How do I do my breakthrough? And we've got a series of videos coming now, all about breakthrough, but we'll cover that at the end.
Yes, that's starting on tomorrow, actually, Monday
Yeah,
at 11 a.m. Eastern time. That's when our breakthrough series is coming to fruition. So you talked about how the numbers can shape your practice. Can you explain a little bit more about how you incorporate numerology into your life?
Yeah, for me personally, I have been doing this now as a therapy program for my clients. So for those of you who've been reaching out, who've been responding via the emails, you've been sending me a message at love.yogavision@gmail.com. And this is an opportunity for us to make that connection. I know you're there, I'm here, and it's a one-on-one, it's a one-on-one where we actually sit down and work through that together. So before I do that for anybody, I do that for myself. Where am I at? What is my numerology for the day? What gifts and talents am I bringing forward? Where are my shadows showing up? And sure enough, in every single call, there's a point of reflection for me too. This is one-on-one learning, and it goes both ways. So the numerology has been a key factor in decision making, especially when I'm starting a year, starting a month, and getting a theme so that I know what to intend for myself and for the circle of people who I'm surrounded by and surrounded with. So all my major decisions, all of the key things around love and life and health and finances and responsibilities for my son or for my family members, it all plays out in terms of numerology. And I've started to become used to checking on that on a daily. You don't have to. It's just another key, another tool. Once a month is good enough. Once a month to set my 40-day practice is really where it becomes most handy.
It's like a way that you can go and check in to see where you are at internally and even what's happening around you. I remember we did that as well for YogaVision Studio back in Mississauga, where we would have themes for each month. And one of them was going with the flow. And I remember we talked to the other teachers, and since it was the theme of our month, just something that the teachers had in mind when they taught their classes to the students.
Yes.
So many applications.
Absolutely. And I think that the best way to do that is to chart where you are right now, Nori. So looking at where you are right now, and then what is it that you want to achieve? What's in your timeline? What's in your gaze in the next 40 days? And how can Kundalini Yoga help you? Because for those of us who are really keen on this practice, it just becomes more juicy and more delicious and more loving as we deepen this practice. So it works like that. It's so there's more on offer, if you can imagine. There's more on offer.
Yeah, I remember during a yoga teacher training when you looked at everyone's numerology, all of your students, and assigned a Kriya. That was definitely a really big turning point and a point of awakening and seeing where we are, what life cycles that we are in, and what Kriya that we should practice in order for us to level up and break through to the next level.
Mm,
So can you talk
mm,
a little bit more about how you incorporated yoga teacher training and numerology together for your students?
mhm. Well, exactly as you said, there's an opportunity, I think, in teacher training to really do a deep dive into what is yoga and how does it work, and to really have a truly breakthrough, transformational experience for yourself first as a person before you take on the role of a teacher, before you really step onto the front of the room and to guide other people. I think what's first and foremost is that you have that experience for yourself. You settle in and you say, okay, I know that through my own experience, now this is the Aquarian age, through my own experience, I have learned something about myself, applied a technology, and seen myself grow. And I think there's nothing that helps us fall in love with ourselves more than seeing our own application of change. It's powerful. And before you can be a teacher, I think in any realm of teaching, you have to see the spark. And once you see the spark, it's you're hooked. I'm hooked. We're hooked. For those of you who have children, when a child sits down and learns to read or learns to add numbers, the world changes for them, and as educators, the world changes for us too. We start to see them differently. They start to see themselves differently, and it's so powerful. Yeah, so I wanted that for all of you as students. I want that
Mhm.
in the program as well. And it's a piece that, I think is the highlight, because you have your numerology done in the program itself. And that numerology then becomes very key to allowing you to refine how you show up. And that's really, being a teacher is how you show up, I think.
Well, I could speak to that. When I was in yoga teacher training, during the Kundalini portion where you did our numerology, it really made it very apparent to me what the signs are when my energy starts to get low. What do I do to myself when I isolate and back away? So then I became more aware to catch that before it started to get even deeper and I start to spiral, and to be able to take myself out. And it also gave me a sense of direction of where I should go and how I should use my own gifts. So I can really speak to your mentorship during yoga teacher training and guiding us through that roadmap, because it's even by ourselves we can look up our numerology on our own on websites, but having a teacher, having a mentor there to really walk you through and to show you your shadows and support you during that time where you are transforming. It is intense. There's lots of stories out there about how Kundalini awakening can be dangerous. And it could be talking about that point where we're looking at our shadows or seeing the parts of us that might have been hidden from the past, and how to work through that so that you can express and be present the way that you want to be in your life.
Absolutely. There's that point where we all know that unless something shifts, something significant shifts, that it's all just going to remain the same. The story is going to repeat itself over and over and
Mm-hmm.
over again, and that's a trap. That's a playing small that none of us really need to do anymore. It's um, it's 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 a self-fulfilling prophecy. If we play small, we never get to have the impact that we want. And I've seen you personally, I've watched you change. Not only did you come through the teacher training program, but also we've been working side by side for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And the kind of level up I've seen is, wow, it's impressive, you know? And I don't know if
No.
you guys know this, but Nori is 25. And so in the time that she's been alive has been a yogi for almost half of that. So it's been very profound to watch those changes and to see what trust and responsibility offer to a person as they're growing. So yeah,
Yeah, I
good
just
journey.
surrendered to the journey, just went with the flow of things. Definitely when
Yeah.
I was in high school, when I started, I didn't think that I would be here. I wouldn't have pictured myself as very comfortable speaking out in public, but here we are.
Yeah.
And we just had a conversation about that too, the importance of public speaking, which is something that we also touch upon in our training.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, that's it really. Everybody's scared of speaking in public. We're all afraid that our opinions or our views or our ways of speaking it won't be accepted. And yeah, okay. That's just one part of it. Not
Just one
everyone's going to agree.
story.
Yeah, I mean, 7 billion people on the planet, right? There's really no rights and no wrongs. And that's the place where if we remember that, then everybody's opinion matters, and everybody's way of showing up has a place.
Mhm.
So, from that's another key part of the practice of
Yes.
becoming a teacher. Yeah, it's
Yes.
trusting your voice, developing it, and trusting.
And using it.
Yeah, yeah.
So one
What
last
else do
question.
Yes, I was
One
gonna say,
last
what else do you want to know about numerology?
Well, actually, this is our last question by Raven Rose, and
Okay.
about if you have any plans in offering any online Kundalini certification. And if so, where to
Ooh,
get more info on that?
okay. It's a great question. So in the past at the studio itself, and just to backtrack a little bit, I had opened YogaVision Studio 6 years ago, and then COVID-19 hit on March 13th. We put everything live on YouTube, and then March 16th, right after that weekend, we closed the studio, and it's been closed ever since. And I've made an announcement at the early part of June to close the studio itself. So permanently we're closed. And here's the opportunity is to go online and to make an impact worldwide, globally. We know that we did that in the studio itself, and now is an opportunity to do it out here in a virtual way, in a real way, but also virtually. So in the studio, we had a 300-hour teacher training program. It covered meditation, hatha, as well as Kundalini yoga, all three components of a very robust program. And so that continues online. So if you're interested in doing a full training, that's 300 hours, and it's in Canadian dollars. You can find all the information. Nori will post the link below this particular live stream. So that will continue to run. If you want information about that, love.yogavision@gmail.com. Send me a message. Now, in the background, we know that so many of you are getting tuned into Kundalini yoga itself, which is a brilliant practice. My personal best friend, I call it my best friend. It's a lot of people's best friend, but she always shows up for me, and I think of her as a she. She shows up for me in ways that I have never. Let's say it this way: I'm called to. It's calling to me, and I want that to be a personal practice for you as well. So in the background, Nori and I are working on a Kundalini certification. It's an enrichment program, not a teaching certificate, and not part of our big program, but actually 50 hours where you are learning about the history, philosophy, the teachings, how to do a little bit of your own numerology to find out how to apply the teachings. You get to do that in a peer group. You get to do that with me a little bit one-on-one when I do your numerology. And it's a very robust way of looking at Kundalini yoga from the outside, because there's so much to look at, and some of it is fear factor, to be quite honest, and others is a little bit inaccessible. It's hard to reach. It's hard to look at what Kundalini yoga actually is, and to really hone in on the right teacher, the right mentor, and the right time and place for you in your life. So we're developing that right now. For that program, just put a subject line saying enrichment program, and then I will send you the details. I'm looking at maximum 10 people for both of those programs so that we can really build this out and do it in an intimate, community-based kind of way, which I think is the best way to learn, and experiential. So you go on with the rest of your life. You don't drop out of time and space for 30 days, do your training, and then leave. You actually do this live, side by side of everything else going on in your life, your kids, your job, your home, your health, your mental state. All of that comes with, and we do that together. When we go together, we go far. If you want to go fast, you go by yourself.
And that's
Okay,
where the
so send
growth
me an
happens,
email.
eh?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that question. That's great. We're all on the same wavelength. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. And so if you are a teacher already, the enrichment program is a great option. If you are looking to learn, then the 300 hours is a great way to get really invested and soaked in.
I'm so excited for that coming this September. So I did share a
Yes.
link there in the chat.
Okay.
So now that we're done with our questions, Lima, would you
Yes.
like to go ahead and guide us through the guided meditation practice for our challenge? And first, why are we doing a 40-day challenge? And why
Okay.
should our viewers do this challenge with us?
Okay. So the practice of Kundalini yoga is, as we said, is a therapy, and the technology works best when it's applied daily. So let's frame it differently. So let's say today you picked a video and you followed along. That video and that impact, that imprint of the Kundalini Kriya or the meditation that you did will have an effect for 40 days. So if you did nothing else for the next 40 days, there would be a wave inside of you that is harnessing, generating, receiving energy from that particular Kriya. You can see the effects are profound. Then, if you think about layering that on, so every day, including that same meditation, same mantra, same kriya, same breathing technique, if you do that all for 40 days, so every day for 40 days, you start to build out for yourself a wave in the ocean, not just a wave on a lake, but a wave in the ocean. You become part of something much bigger. And there's a power in a practice that's done together, and there's a power of self-discipline. In our Western culture, we don't like this word discipline. It sounds harsh. It sounds boring. It sounds like, some authority is telling you what to do and why, and without explaining the why. So you're doing this for yourself. It's a sadhana. So we've gotten very used to that word challenge again in our fitness culture. But let's think about it as it is from a yogic perspective. It's a sadhana. Sadhana, sadhana, and that's a daily practice. And it's a daily act of self love. It's a daily act of sitting with what's uncomfortable, usually ourselves in some way, shape, or form, and getting to the heart of the matter. And that only comes from quiet, and that only comes from um, dedicating time and energy to spiritual evolution. I know for many of you that's the reason you've come to Kundalini yoga. It's not the prettiest practice, let's be honest. But what it does when you lift yourself off the mat is feel quite triumphant and quite radiant and like you got this. And that's valuable. I mean, sure, go ahead and do a headstand and it feels good too. But finish a kriya and feel powerful, feel full, feel complete, feel perfect, feel your own perfection. So that's what a sadhana brings. It brings a daily dose of that goodness. So the kriya that I've chosen for this month is the kriya for creating self-love. Why that one? So this is the month of July. July is represented by the number 7, and 7 is the power of patience. And you can never have love without patience, and you can't have patience without love. So this is a reciprocal responsibility and a reciprocal relationship between the power of your presence, your aura, and also having this practice to uphold that. So as we work on love, we're working on patience. And who doesn't need a little bit more of that? Yeah, okay. Nori's born in
Definitely.
July as well. I know lots of you born in July, and not just if you're born in July, but if you're born with the number 7 somewhere in your numerology. So, let's say 61, born in 61, born in 1970, born in July, born in the month of 7, born on the 16th of the month. So all of these are ways that we add up to 7, and so it can envelop a lot. And it's not just those of you with 7s, but there are other ways to get to that tipping point. Does that help? I think you
Yes,
should
hit
just do
like
it.
if that helps.
Yeah, okay. Awesome. So let's go into a little bit of the Kriya. So here's what we're going to do. I'll do a very short demonstration. I'm in the car. You can see we're hiding from the rain right now. It's just starting to rain again. Thank God we took this inside option. And I'm going to do a shortened version. And then at the bottom of this chat, Nori's going to give you an option to link over to our Facebook page. And in that Facebook page, we'll be doing a daily practice. So you'll get the video over there on Facebook and a way to link into that Facebook group via this particular chat. So hang on, we're just about to start. I'm going to move the camera back just a little bit so that we can have a little more space and I can give you a little more of an angle view. Okay, so here we go. And many thanks to Shaliza, who's sitting behind the camera and holding it with her bare hands and getting her meditation on right now. Okay, so here we go. Let's tune in together. So press your palms together at the center of your chest. Take a few moments here, press your thumbs into the bone of your chest. Drop down into your body. Take a few long, deep breaths here. Relax your legs. Relax your shoulders, separate your teeth, relax your jaw. Bring your eyes to the center of your forehead. Good. And let's begin now by tuning in. Ong Namo Gurudev Namo. I bow to the teacher within. I call in my highest consciousness. Inhale very deeply. Exhale completely. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale and let's tune in. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Always feels better. Okay, so let's begin now. Left hand floats over to the side. Palm is facing open, just turning a little bit so the camera can see. So palm is facing open. And imagine yourself blessing the world. Good, so left hand is forward, full palm, full radiating palm. And then with your right hand, bring this right hand above your head. I'm a little bit maxed out by how I'm sitting here in the car, but you raise that just above your head. So Nori is floating above her top knot. That's perfect. So we want a little bit of distance between the top of your head and your palm. So the energy of your palm faces downwards and the left palm faces forward. Close your eyes now and focus at the tip of your nose. So please watch Nori. I'm going to talk you through what's happening here. Breathe long and deep. Feel the energy of your hand above you, your palm above you. And if you've tuned in, you can feel a little bit of a gravitational pull between your palm and the top of your head. Bless yourself now. This is the Kriya for creating self-love. So bless yourself. Over the past 40 days, I've used time, health, wealth, love, experience, joy, happiness, friendship. So you choose your words. Make it powerful, make it impactful, make it personal to you. What is it that would allow you the opportunity to rise up? And if your circumstances as a child were harsh, how can you self-love and how can you self-parent? What words can you choose? What atmosphere can you create? What kind of safety in your environment? And where can you allow yourself a little bit of wilderness, wildness, so that you can evolve to the edges and beyond? Feel yourself as a blessing. Bless yourself as a powerful, regal yogi, blessing yourself. And then feel yourself as a conduit, a harnessing, generating, organizing, and delivering aspect of the universe itself. And project that forward with your left hand. So however way you've blessed yourself, you bless the world around you. You have impact. With the power of your presence, with your breath, with your body, with your soul. The energy comes through the top of your head, down from the universe itself, inspired for what is greater, generating through your heart space, green energy, opportunity, releasing now anything that's blocking you, and coming into awareness of all aspects of who you are. Not just a mother, a lover, a friend, a partner, but as 10 bodies, 10 aspects, the human in you, the hue, the light of your being. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale completely and slide both hands forward, float them above the ground, palms facing down. Beautiful. Hold here. Not too long at all. Breathe. So the first aspect we did for 3.5 minutes, and now we'll hold here for just about 30 seconds, full arms, blessing the planet. Bless the planet now. What does the Mother Earth need from us? Our consciousness, our awareness, leaving this place better than when we arrived. A few seconds. Just a few seconds. Inhale deeply now, raise both arms up, fingertips towards the sky, palms face forward, that's it. Look at this harness of energy. Send it upwards. Make yourself like an arrow. Upwards, reach up. And beam that energy into the sky, into the universe. Not too long. Stretch out your armpits. We're allowing some release around the shoulder joints. Good. In the full practice, it's a little bit longer. All of this is a little bit longer. You can modify the times, but do the first round best you can. That practice video is an opportunity to do the breathing techniques, a warm-up exercise, so you'll be fully prepared. Today we're diving right in. Take a deep inhale here. Send your last few seconds of love upwards. Let it shower around you, creating self-love. Lower your arms down. Keep your eyes closed. Stay here in your own magnificence. Breathe in joy. Inhale the vastness. Exhale the vastness. And just in the simple breath we've exchanged. Beautiful. Press your palms together. Long sat, short nam here. We'll stay on for a few more minutes while I wrap up the practice, but here an opportunity to seal it off in this way, in this time and space. Inhale very deeply, long sat, short nam. Truth is my name. Inhale. Sa. Nam. Satnam. Please ground yourself. Bring your forehead and your palms to the ground, just closing off gently here so that you can come back to our final few moments together. And thank you very much for staying on. The call went a little bit longer than we had anticipated, but what juicy stuff we come up with. Okay, so now just to refresh here, congratulations. The first day of the Kriya for creating self-love. 40-day practice. So from here, we go outwards for 40 days. You can join in tomorrow. So this can be your warm-up. Tomorrow we go live. It's the 20th of the month. And then we go to the end of August. And a powerful opportunity for you to envelop yourself in self-love. And alongside, every Monday, we're releasing new videos, and these are your breakthrough practices. So alongside of this is more. If you can take a little more, we've got that. Remember that it's a 40-day practice. So if you miss one, you come back and you start over again. Kundalini Yoga is quite disciplined in that way. And notice where you might fall off and notice where you feel resistance to continuing on. It's all good. It's part of the practice. So 40-day sadhana. Meet me over in the Facebook page. This is where we'll interact on a more regular basis, an opportunity for us to get to know you as a community and for us to really build our practice together. So unless there's anything else, Nori, that I've missed along the way, let me share my email address with you one more time, love.yogavision@gmail.com. That's information so that you can give me a little message when you're interested for the Kundalini Yoga Enrichment Program, as well as joining in the link for information regarding 300-hour teacher training program, which is offered now fully 100% online, and an opportunity for us to get together that way. Numerology is very powerful. I hope you felt the impact today, the choice of creating self-love through the practice of numerology, and an opportunity for us to practice together.
Satnam.
Parting words.
Yes. So I did put your email there in the chat if anyone would like to connect with Salimah personally, and you guys can have a chat, either get your numerology done or if you want to have a little bit more info on yoga teacher training. Thank you so much for tuning in. Satnam to you, Vicky, Manish, Scott, Vanessa as well. Thank you all.
Hey, Vicky.
There's Catherine back again.
Catherine,
thank you.
Okay.
Wacko
Awesome.
King from South Africa. That's an awesome name. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody.
Thank you so much. Nori, thank you for hosting. Thank you for holding everybody steady while I was finding Wi-Fi. Can't live without it.
So she's in a Tim Hortons parking lot right now.
Exactly where we are. For those of you who are ever been to Canada or close by, this is our staple. And you can get good coffee and a good Wi-Fi connection.
Good old reliable.
Good old reliable. Yeah, thank you so much. Lots of love, everybody. And I look forward to hearing from you. And if we haven't connected already, send a note through. I'd love to hear from you. Satnam.
Satnam. Bye, everyone. See you on Monday, 11 a.m.
Yes.